A very good morning, my dear students. कैसे हैं आप सभी लोग बेटा? Hope you are safe and fine at your end. So this is the third session on chapter number 9, strategic analysis of operating income. At the start of the session, beta, you have seen a short video on international conference, student conference. I strongly recommend each and every student to join the same. It will be a virtual one and definitely it will benefit you a lot. No doubt about that. There are many sessions on role of chartered accountancy, beyond accountancy, forensic audit, technical sessions are there. Globally, where chartered accountant are placed on this topic, the expert will express their views along with the motivational session of some renowned motivational speaker, especially BK Shivani Didi. So there is lot of activities, lot of knowledge activities that will be on the 29th and 30th of this month. Okay, beta. So it is a virtual participation. I strongly recommend each and every student to join the same. It will definitely help you a lot in your career. Okay, beta. So starting the today's session with chapter number 9, the last session of chapter number 9, strategic analysis of operating income. है ना? So Naveen Kumar, good morning, beta. How many students are online now? Naveen Kumar, good morning. चलिए बेटा, कोई डाउट आपको? लास्ट सेशन में जो अपन ने स्टार्ट किया था डीपीपी, अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंसेप्ट, डायरेक्ट प्रोडक्ट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी. Let's take a quick recap of that direct product profitability and then we will move towards the new question of activity based costing. Okay, so direct product profitability, why there is a need for separate technique for recovery of overhead in trading sector. This is what is very important. Direct product profitability is applicable only and only in the trading sector. Okay, first point. So why there is a need for a separate recovery of method of overhead in trading sector? I have provided you the two logic. Try to recall that one, beta. Try to recall that two logic. Why ABC cannot be implemented in trading sector? Why a separate method is required in the trading sector? I have provided it two logics, beta. The first logic is the number of products they are dealing are in thousands or hundred to thousands. What a manufacturer or what a service provider can offer a maximum of 10, 20, 30, 40 products. But in DMart, in Best Price, in Walmart, in such retail trading giant, we are having thousands of products they are dealing on a regular basis. This is the first point. So it is not practically possible to link overhead to each and every such type of product which are in thousands in number. And second, most importantly, the product price range differs significantly, starting from few rupees, say 5 rupees, going to thousands of rupees in case of electronic. That's the basic two reasons why there is a need for separate recovery method of overhead in case of trading sector. Okay. The computation part is very simple. It involves 3 steps. The first step is computation of gross margin. Damn simple. No special calculation is required. Just consider the sale price minus purchase price. That's all. This is the first step, gross margin. The second step is the most crucial step, known as direct product cost. Direct product cost. Can you name those 3? Don't answer me, beta. Just try to recall. Can you name those 3 costs associated with direct product cost? Direct product cost के साथ कौन-कौन से 3 cost हमारे associated थे? जल्दी से recall कीजिए बेटा. Okay, the first one is warehouse cost. The second one is transport cost. And the third one is not the storage cost. It's the store cost. Storage nahi beta. Third one is store cost. The place where we sold our goods ultimately to the final consumer is known as stores. So store cost, transportation cost, and warehouse. Warehouse cost is related with centralized purchasing. Warehouse cost is related with centralized purchasing. Transportation is from centralized warehousing to the retail store is known as transportation cost, and all the cost incurred in the store is known as store cost. क्लियर है बेटा? चलिए, फिर एक बहुत बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन अपन ने देखा था, अवेलेबल इन द स्टडी मटेरियल. व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट इन दैट पॉइंट? सेल प्राइस and purchase price are given on per unit basis. Since the sale price denomination is on per unit basis, we require the direct product profitability also on per unit basis. But what was the issue in that particular question? The direct product cost which you have been given in the question is given in month. Warehouse cost is given in month. Transportation cost is given in per trip. And store cost is given on per month basis, while we require the direct product cost on per unit basis, so that the direct product profitability can be find out on per unit basis. This is very important. So how to convert this per month cost into per unit cost, per trip cost into per unit cost? For that, we have to bifurcate the two type of costs that are involved in warehouse and the store, and that is refrigerated cost and other cost. Okay, refrigerated cost is divided by its volume, while non-refrigerated cost, that is other costs, are divided by the total volume, the logic being the other costs consist of labor cost, material handling costs, which are also incurred for refrigerated product along with the refrigeration cost. So refrigerated cost volume will be divided by the refrigerated volume, while other costs will be divided by the total volume. Once you will not get the answer directly on per unit basis. What you will get is cost per cubic meter per month. Then you have to check how many months the goods will remain in the warehouse. Accordingly, you will find out the cost in per cubic meter. When this cost in per cubic meter divided by units per cubic meter, you will get the ultimate answer, that is the direct product cost on per unit basis. I have requested you on the last session to do this particular question on your own before the start of the new session. How many students, I want to know, have done this work, beta? Have solved this particular question of direct product profitability on their own once the last session is over? How many students? Please communicate, beta. I want to know. Okay, Subhash Kumar has completed on that day itself. Very good, Subhash. Very good, beta. What about other student? Okay, Mohini has also completed. Okay, very good, beta. Very, very good. Other student, please communicate, beta. Have you completed that work? Say with yes or no. No issue, beta. If you are not yet completed, I strongly request that to complete it on after the today session, beta. It's very important that the concept should be done on that day itself, so that the skill related to that particular topic can be acquitted. Okay, Naveen Kumar has done it. Okay, beta, very good. So let's start today's session, beta, with a question given on page number 41. Please open page number 41. Page number 41. Page number 41 of the study material. Can we start this question, beta? Question number 8. Okay. So basically, what's the crux of this particular question? The company name is Melody. It is dealing in musical instrument. It has two products, piano and electronic keyboard. Piano is a customized one, while the electronic keyboard are the standardized one. Different information are given regarding the piano and the electronic keyboard. Some numerical data have also been provided to you. How many units have been sold? What is the sale price? What is the cost? Complete information has been given. Production overhead have been bifurcated into three parts along with the cost volume it is given. So I request each and every student to read out this particular question on your own in the coming 4 minutes. I'm providing you sufficient time of 4 minutes to read out this question. Once the 4 minutes are over, we will read out the question combinedly with interpretation. Okay, beta. So your first reading is very, very important so that you will be comfortable in the second reading along with me. Okay, beta. So 4 minutes are available with you. Please read out this question very, very carefully. Try to retain majority of the data in your mind. Okay, beta. 4 minutes are available with you to read out question number 8. One more minute is available to you, beta. Please read out the question very, very carefully. Okay, beta. Now let's start. Once again, start this question with me. Okay. Now the interpretation reading. Let's start the question. Melody is a manufacturer of musical instrument. So my client name is Melody. It is engaged in the business of manufacturing of musical instrument. The company specializes in manufacture of piano and the electronic keyboard instrument. So basically, two types of products are being given to us. The first product is known as piano, and the second one is electronic keyboard. They are both labor-intensive product. It means mechanization is low as compared to the manual work. Therefore, Melody follows absorb its production overhead based on direct labor hours. Can you please tell me, beta, based on this line, how you can conclude whether the existing method of recovery of overhead is traditional method or ABC method? Through this line only, this single line suggests clearly 10% whether the method is traditional method of recovery of overhead or it's ABC method. Okay, beta. I'm waiting for your answer, beta. Please communicate through this line how we can conclude that whether company is currently following traditional method or ABC method. Along with the logic, beta, no? Along with the logic, please communicate fast. What will be your logic regarding the identification, whether company is following traditional or ABC method? Please communicate fast, beta. Okay, as per Priya and Brajesh Kumar, it's traditional method. And as per Naveen Kumar, it's also traditional method. As per Sai Ram, it's ABC method. What's the logic? Can you provide me the logic, beta, along with your answer? Why you are identifying the technique as traditional or ABC, along with the logic, that is required. Okay, so the answer is company is following the traditional method of recovery of overhead. Yes, company following traditional method. What's the logic behind it? This is not the logic that direct labor hour has been used for recovery of overhead. This is not the logic that company is following the traditional method. Direct labor hour as a logical base can also be used in activity-based costing. So, since the company is using direct labor hour, we cannot conclude that the company is following the traditional method. The logic is all the production overhead will be recovered using a single logical base. It means company is following blanket recovery rate. Complete overhead has been recovered using only a single base, that is the direct labor hour. So single base means blanket recovery rate, and blanket recovery rate is applicable only and only in case of traditional method. It will not be applicable in case of ABC method. In activity-based costing, there will always be the multiple recovery rate. So one thing is sure, beta, if company following blanket recovery rate, that is recovering the complete overhead on a single logical base, that is known as blanket recovery rate, that method is definitely the traditional method, because in ABC method, there will always be the multiple recovery rate. Clear, beta? Chali. तो ये बात अपने को कंफर्म हो गई, आज की तारीख में कंपनी ट्रेडिशनल मेथड यूज कर रही है, एंड इन ट्रेडिशनल मेथड दे आर फॉलोइंग द डायरेक्ट लेबर आवर ब्लैंकेट रिकवरी रेट। ओके बेटा, चलिए बढ़ते अपन आगे। पियानो, melody pianos are of very high quality. Client patronage include professional piano musician. Some of these instruments are sold in its standard form. However, musician, particularly the concert player who are our customers, require their pianos to be customized to certain specifications. Customization primarily relates to the acoustic quality of the piano sound. Quality of sound is of paramount importance to musician, that is our customer, as it determines the power and warmth of tone. Each musician have a preference to achieve a spatial quality of sound. Therefore, no two customized pianos can be same. So, the first product is piano. Company's piano is of very high quality. Who are our customer? Musician. Musician wants the piano to be customized according to their specification. And this line is very important. Each and every musician has a preference to achieve a spatial quality of sound. Therefore, no two customized pianos can be same. For example, if we are manufacturing customized piano for musician A, his preference will be different, while for customer B, the preference will be different. No two pianos can be same. So basically, this first product is more or less customized one. Due to its reputation, company refused numerous requests for customization from its customer. Ability to provide customized service set the company apart from its competitor. Means this is the USP, unique selling point of our company Melody, that we are providing customization in the manufacturing of piano that is required by the musician. Okay. Customization requires the services of professional craftsmen. They are hired as subcontract for such work based on the need. These craftsmen perform their services within the factory premises. Now, this is important, बेटा. जब भी आप customization की बात करते हैं, so for customization, you require the services of professional craftsmen. Okay, they are hired as subcontractor. मतलब जब भी हमें जरूरत होगी तब हम उन्हें हायर करेंगे, and this work will be performed in within the factory premises. हमारे factory premises में ही वो बंदे आते हैं, professional craftsmen, they will work, but they are not our employees. They are the work is subcontracted to them as and when required. Okay. For this special work, space is maintained by the company. Company charges its customer extra for subcontracting cost plus 10%. है ना? तो इस वर्क के लिए बोल रही है कंपनी कि हम अलग से स्पेस मेंटेन करते हैं जहां पर पियानो से रिलेटेड कस्टमाइजेशन हो पाए. टू रिकवर सच कॉस्ट, customer will have to pay extra cost of piano plus subcontracting charges plus 10%. Okay, this is also important. Customer will pay extra for this work, whatever be the subcontracting charges, 10% will be added on that. This would cover, ये जो 10% हम add कर रहे हैं, what's the logic? This would cover the actual cost of subcontracting and any incidental overhead incurred. The board of company accept that this method of billing is very simple. It is unsure if the company is recovering the entire cost of providing this customization service. Okay. So, piano, more or less, ये हमारा customized product है. Since the preference of different musicians are separate, specific, therefore no two customization can be same. Company provide customization by providing the services of professional craftsmen. They are not the permanent employee. They will be hired. They will be subcontracted as and when required, and they will work within the factory premises. Customer will have to pay extra for the customization. The formula is very simple. Whatever be the subcontracting charges, company will add 10% to that. The logic is, it is very simple, but company is still unsure whether the formula of subcontracting plus 10% is covering our entire overhead or not. Okay. Now, second product related to electronic keyboard. These are instruments manufactured by company or home keyboard that are targeted at a young musician enthusiastic who are beginning to learn music. They come in standard size. This is very, very important. They come in standard size, comprised of standard component. No customization are done to keyboard. So both the product are totally different. Piano are more or less customized product, while the electronic keyboard comes in standard size, comprises of standard component. No customization is entertained for electronic keyboard by the company. As a performance expert, the board wants your advice. They extract below the provide the most recent management accounts for the piano and the keyboard division. Okay. Number of items manufactured 1,000 and 10,000. Sale price is given. Revenue is given. Material, labor, subcontracting charges along with the production overhead is given. Production overhead is 4 crore 50 lakh for piano and 65 lakh for the keyboard. Total overhead is 5 crore 15 lakh. Total cost of production is given and gross profit are given for both the product. Production overhead, इसका total लगाइए बेटा, इन तीनों का total लगाइए. What is the total production overhead? 3 crore 45 lakh, 50 lakh and 1 crore 20 lakh. It will come out to 5 crore 15 lakh of overhead. ठीक है. तो जो ऊपर हमें 7 पॉइंट में टोटल ओवरहेड दिया है उसका यहाँ पे बाइफर्केशन बता रहा है कि out of 5 crore 15 lakh, 3 crore 45 lakh belong to inspection and testing. Space maintenance cost for subcontracting work, rent, utility and 2 support staff. The piano will be customized within the factory premises. So the cost related to space is 50 lakh rupee. Other production overhead, rest of the utility, rent, salary of support staff at project, it's 1 crore 20 lakh. Okay, beta. So requirement part, there are 4 requirement part related to this particular question. 1, 2 and 3. Please read out this all the 3 requirement part and tell me in which requirement part we have to find out the data through traditional method, numerical data through traditional method, and in which requirement part we have to find out the numerical data for ABC method. आपको मुझे ये बताना है बेटा कि 1, 2 and 3 रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट को पहले आप रीड आउट कीजिएगा, फिर मुझे बताइएगा कौन से रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट में हमें न्यूमेरिकल कैलकुलेशन करना है एज पर ट्रेडिशनल मेथड और कौन से मेथड में हमें न्यूमेरिकल कैलकुलेशन करना है एज पर एबीसी मेथड. न्यूमेरिकल कैलकुलेशन में फाइंडिंग आउट द कॉस्ट पर यूनिट under traditional method and cost per unit under ABC method. I am giving you 2 minutes to identify this point, beta. Please read out the requirement part very carefully बेटा to answer this question. कौन से रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट में हमें न्यूमेरिकल आंसर बताना है कॉस्ट पर यूनिट एज पर ट्रेडिशनल मेथड एंड कॉस्ट पर यूनिट एज पर एबीसी मेथड. सुरैया, सुमी, ब्रजेश, जय श्रीवास्तव, प्रिया, प्रियदर्शनी, तेजो, सुभाष, थोड़ा जल्दी कम्युनिकेट करें बेटा. प्लीज कम्युनिकेट फास्ट योर आंसर. Okay, as per Jay Srivastav, numerical will be done in requirement part number 3rd. That is, cost per unit will be find out in requirement part number 3rd. What about the views of other student, beta? Other student, jaldi communicate kare beta. What's your view? Okay, let's check out the answer. In the complete requirement part, whether it's requirement part number 1, 2, 3, or 4, nowhere in the requirement part it is required by the question, it is required by the requirement part to compute cost per unit under traditional method or ABC method. Nowhere. In the first requirement part, we have to discuss the treatment of production overhead under traditional method and ABC method. In second requirement part, we have to just list out the steps that will be required to implement ABC system. We have to assess whether activity-based costing would be suitable. We don't have to compute the cost per unit. Just we have to recommend, just we have to assess whether ABC would be suitable for piano and electronic keyboard equipment. And in the last, a new topic is there, activity-based cost management. So in all the 4 requirement part, you are not supposed to calculate the cost per unit under traditional method or cost per unit under ABC method. Even the question can't ask the cost per unit under traditional method in this particular question based on the detail given. Can you tell me, beta, which of the details are missing in this question? Without those details, we will be unable to calculate the cost per unit under ABC method. Some details are missing in the question, although the question, nowhere in the question, it was mentioned that we have to compute the cost per unit under ABC method. Still, we are trying to elaborate this question more, even though why we cannot calculate the cost per unit under ABC method, because certain basic information that is required under activity-based costing are not available. Numerical details are not available related to activity-based costing. So these are the 2 statements, numerical statement given. Some more information are required, and that is not at all available in the question. हम चाह के भी हम कॉस्ट पर यूनिट अंडर एबीसी मेथड फाइंड आउट नहीं कर सकते, एंड इवन द क्वेश्चन इज नॉट आस्क्ड टू फाइंड आउट द कॉस्ट पर यूनिट. नाउ ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट बेटा which numerical data are not available in the question due to which we cannot find out the cost per unit under traditional method. कौन सी न्यूमेरिकल डिटेल हमारे को नहीं दिया जो हर क्वेश्चन में हमें लगती थी. ओके सुमित जैन बेटा, वेरी गुड वेरी गुड. ओके साईराम, गुड बेटा, करेक्ट आंसर है. सुरैया लोडी, बिल्कुल करेक्ट है बेटा आपका आंसर. So majority of the student have rightly identified that this question cannot be solved through ABC method. The reason being, whenever we have to solve through ABC method, there are two minimum working note, and the first working note is ABC recovery rate. In this particular question, ABC recovery rate is not been provided to you. So activities are given, no doubt about that. Activities are given. Activities cost pool are given. Activities are given, activity cost pool are given, but we require some more detail to calculate the ABC recovery rate, that is cost driver. And most important detail that is not available to calculate the ABC recovery rate is quantity of cost driver. For inspection and testing, we can assume that suppose inspection hour is the cost driver, we can assume, no doubt about that. But how much inspection hour are there, it is not available in the question, and we cannot assume that numerical data. Although the cost driver can be assumed by us, but the quantity of cost driver cannot be assumed in the absence of information. Therefore, quantity of cost driver along with the cost driver are not provided in the question. Space maintenance cost, how this space maintenance cost will be allocated, it is not given. Other production overhead, the logical base of other production overhead is not given, along with most important quantity of cost driver is not given. Okay beta, even in case of a traditional method, labor hours per unit are not available. Labor hours per unit are not available with you beta, no? So basically some details are not given in the question, due to which we cannot find out the cost per unit under ABC method. Also, question has nowhere asked us to find out the cost per unit. They were very, very good question beta, because giving this numerical data will always keep you in a dilemma that yes, we have to calculate the cost per unit under traditional method and cost per unit under ABC method, while due to this absence of information, we cannot find out those details. Okay beta. Now so this question is basically a different type question, है ना? So जो हमने अभी तक क्वेश्चन किया सर थोड़ा सा हटके, क्योंकि in every question till now we will compute the cost per unit under ABC method. For the first requirement part, discuss the difference in treatment of production overhead under absorption costing and activity based costing. Discuss the difference in treatment of production overhead. So आपको ये डिस्कशन करना है कि if production overhead is recovered through absorption costing and if the same production overhead is recovered through activity based costing, what the difference in treatment. तो सोचिए बेटा, आपको don't look at the answer बेटा, I am giving you 2 minutes, just try to answer this requirement part number 1. What would you write in this particular requirement part number 1? What will be the difference in treatment of production overhead under traditional method and ABC method? I am giving you 2 minutes beta to find out a structure, what points you will write in this particular requirement part. I am a firm believer that if a student think on their own during the learning session, definitely they will get the confidence, enough confidence to face those 3 hours, because this subject is all about beta strategical thinking, and it is not acquired through solving n number of questions. It can be acquired only and only by self thinking. Okay, for 2 minutes में आपको दे रहा हूं बेटा, आप सोचिए इस पॉइंट में आप क्या क्या लिख सकते हैं. यू डोंट हैव टू आंसर मी, है ना, आपको अपनी कॉपी में भी नहीं लिखना. जस्ट थिंक द स्ट्रक्चर व्हाट यू राइट इन रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट नंबर 1. thereafter we will discuss the requirement part number 1. okay beta. ओके बेटा, लेट्स स्टार्ट. सबसे पहले हम बताएंगे प्रोडक्शन ओवरहेड का ट्रीटमेंट अंडर ट्रेडिशनल मेथड. यू कैन राइट इन द कॉपी बेटा. ट्रेडिशनल मेथड ऑफ रिकवरी ऑफ ओवरहेड इज आल्सो नोन एज, प्लीज राइट डाउन इन योर कॉपी, traditional method for recovery of overhead. Traditional method for recovery of overhead is also known as absorption costing. Traditional method for recovery of overhead is also known as absorption costing. ठीक है बेटा, चलिए. Now we will discuss then in absorption costing, complete overhead is being recovered based on direct labor hours, that is blanket recovery rate. So whether the overhead relates to inspection and testing, whether the overhead relate to space maintenance work, whether the overhead relate to other production overhead, all this overhead will be recovered based on direct labor hours, based on direct labor hour under production method. That will be, we will write further, that will be a totally illogical way of recovering the overhead, because if the complete overhead are being recovered through direct labor hour, what will be the issue? This space maintenance work for subcontracting work is being exclusively required only and only for the piano. While if you require this by direct labor hour, the 50 lakh, some portion of rupees 50 lakh will also be allocated to electronic keyboard, while in fact electronic keyboard has not utilized this subcontracting work because it's a standardized product. No customization will be done for the electronic keyboard. This subcontracting is exclusively for piano. So logically, it should be borne by the piano itself. While in case of traditional method, since complete overhead are being recovered using the direct labor hour, they are being recovered through electronic keyboard also. So unnecessarily, cost of electronic keyboard is somewhat higher. Cost of electronic keyboard is somewhat higher because some amount of overhead has been added to those product, even though the product has not utilized the services of that particular activity. Other cheap, salary of support staff at storage. 1 crore 20 lakh include the salary of support staff at storage. The storage has nothing to do with the direct labor hour. Direct labor hours are operational in the production department, while this cost are being incurred in the store department. So there is no logical linkage between the cost incurred in the store department and the labor hours operation in the production department. So overall, we are going illogical recovery of overhead when we are using blanket recovery of overhead, because we are completely ignoring which type of product has used which type of overhead. Second one, whether the logical base which we have taken supports the nature of overhead. No, complete misinformation is being provided by the traditional method. Okay, while if the same is being used through activity based costing, then definitely we will use multiple recovery rate to recover each and every type of overhead that will be incurred in the organization. We will be having 3 type of recovery rate, one for inspection and testing, one for space maintenance work, and the third one will be other production overhead. So there will be logical recovery of overhead. The product who have consumed the services of such will also can only bear such overhead. In case of ABC method, even a single rupee will not be charged to the electronic keyboard because electronic keyboard has not utilized the services of subcontracting work. क्लियर बेटा? सो इतना डिस्कशन आपको लिखना है, ये करीबन 7 to 8 मार्क्स का पहला रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट होना चाहिए बेटा. Now second requirement part is a theoretical one. Write down the steps to implement the ABC method. So the very first step is finding out the activity, identifying the activities in the organization. So the very first step in ABC implementation is finding out the activity. Just you have to write the step beta, the step of minimum working note of ABC. Firstly, you have to identify the activities. Then you have to identify the cost pool related to that activity. Then you have to identify the cost driver. Then you have to estimate the quantity of cost driver. Then you will find out ABC recovery rate. And in the last step, you will find out overhead product wise, how much services have been consumed by each product related to each activity. So second requirement part is nothing but writing the working note, both the working note in some other language, that these are the implementation stage. First of all, we will identify different activities in the organization, then cost pool, cost driver, and so on. Okay. So second requirement part is very simple. Third requirement part is very, very unique. Third requirement part is very, very unique, beta. You will learn something new in the third requirement part. Please read out third requirement part. Assess whether activity-based costing would be suitable for the piano and the keyboard division. क्या activity-based costing suitable होगा पियानो और कीबोर्ड डिवीजन के लिए? चलिए तो देखिए बेटा, सबसे पहले what's the logic behind this? If the overhead constitute a significant portion of the cost of that product, then definitely we will try to recover overhead, find out the overhead on the basis of activity-based costing. Please repeat, please. What I said, beta? If the overhead related to a particular product is significant, significant means 20, 30, 40% of the cost, then it can be called significant. If the cost is significant, then definitely ABC method is recommended, because if the overhead cost is significant, then definitely overhead should be recovered on a logical basis to find out the true cost. But in case the overhead proportion is insignificant, say 2%, 3%, 5%, 8%, then out of the total cost, if we are having overhead content, suppose say 5 to 10%, then such overhead content is called as insignificant. In case of insignificant proportion of overhead, we can shift to traditional method because it is simple and less costly as compared to ABC method. In ABC method, you require services of the management accountant so that they can establish the activity-based costing in your organization. Okay, beta. So have a readout from the suggested answer given in page number. Please open the page number of this, beta. Have a reading from the suggested answer given in page number 61. तो आपके पास समय है बेटा, आप एक बार ये रिक्वायरमेंट पार्ट नंबर 3 का सजेस्टेड आंसर पढ़ लीजिए कि अप्रोप्रिएटनेस किसके लिए किसके लिए नहीं है. याद रखिएगा सबसे मेन रूल ये है, if the overhead is constituting significant portion, then definitely ABC is recommended. Otherwise, we can continue our traditional method for insignificant proportion of overhead. है ना? So I'm giving you time, beta. I think 3 minutes are more than enough to read out the requirement part number 3. So 3 minutes are available with you, beta. Okay, beta, have you read out this point? Appropriateness of ABC method, it is totally dependent on whether the overhead constitute a significant portion or not. And mind it, beta, whenever we are shifting from traditional to ABC method, it is a time consuming process. Along with this, money resources are required to implement the same. So if the overhead is insignificant, then definitely the accuracy will not impact a lot for the product costing. But if overhead is significant, if illogical recovery is done, definitely the product costing data will be distorted. Okay, चलिए. Fourth requirement part अभी अपन नहीं कर पाएंगे बेटा, because that's a new topic available in this particular chapter, and that is activity based cost management. Okay, सो टुडे वी आर टेकिंग द ब्रेक अर्ली. अभी हम ब्रेक ले लेते हैं बेटा. उसके बाद फिर अपन एक टॉपिक चालू कर रहे हैं, एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट. द लास्ट टॉपिक ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर, एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट, है ना. इट इज अ मिक्स ऑफ थ्योरेटिकल एज वेल एज द प्रैक्टिकल टॉपिक. And the first topic, the very first topic, we will cover in the 11th chapter, that is स्टैंडर्ड कॉस्टिंग. ये जो एक टॉपिक आपको दिया हुआ है ये वेरिएंस से रिलेटेड है बेटा. इट विल बी बेटर टू कवर दिस टॉपिक along with chapter number 11 because this requires the concept of standard costing. Unless and until we go through the concept of standard costing, it will be difficult for both of us to deal with this particular topic right now in chapter number 9. So definitely this topic will be dealt with in chapter number 11 beta, है ना. चलिए. So let's take a break of 10 to 12 minutes. After that we will start the last topic of this particular chapter, activity based cost management. And if time permit, we can start the basic of inter related to standard costing. We can start the basic of inter related to standard costing to save our time beta, na? Because there are 4 sessions available for standard costing. So if time permit today, if we can complete the activity based costing before time, definitely we can utilize the time to discuss some basic concept of standard costing that you have studied at inter level. ठीक है बेटा. चलिए ब्रेक लेते हैं अपन. We will meet sharp at 8:10. ठीक है बेटा. चलिए ब्रेक लेते हैं, फिर मिलते हैं अपन नए टॉपिक के साथ इसी चैप्टर में, एक्टिविटी बेस्ड कॉस्ट मैनेजमेंट. Welcome back, students. So let's start another topic in this particular chapter number 9, strategic analysis of operating income. Please give the heading in your copy, beta. Activity-based cost management. Give the heading in your copy. Activity-based cost management. Activity-based cost management. The abbreviated name is ABM. Activity-based cost management. We have already heard the word activity-based costing, and this is activity-based cost management. So natural question arises, curiosity, so whether these two topics are different, activity-based costing and activity-based cost management? Yes. So what's the difference? Activity-based costing just provide us the accurate overhead data related to a particular product unit. If you want to find out what is the logical overhead cost of a particular product, we will take the help of activity-based costing. While activity-based cost management is a much wider concept than ABC, activity-based costing supplies the information related to activities, related to cost pull, related to cost driver, and this information are being efficiently and effectively managed, and that technique is known as activity based cost management. Once again, I am repeating, beta. Please listen very carefully, beta. What's the role of activity-based costing? The role of activity-based costing is to provide the logical and accurate overhead cost per unit. Please repeat with me, beta. What's the logic of ABC? The purpose of ABC is to provide logical and accurate overhead cost per unit. So what is activity-based cost management? Whatever information has been gathered in the process of activity-based costing, whether that is related to activities, its cost pull, or its cost driver, such information are being now managed in an efficient and effective manner. That management of cost data related to ABC is known as activity-based cost management. Please write down your copy it down. Write down the very first point, difference between ABC and ABM. Difference between ABC and ABM. Underline this heading and write down in next line ABC. Use the subheading ABC. Write down in this point. The basic purpose of ABC is to provide logical and accurate overhead cost on unit basis, on per unit basis. To provide logical and accurate overhead cost on per unit basis. Next line में लिखे बेटा, give the subheading ABM. ABM. The full form of ABM is activity based cost management. Write down the abbreviated name only, ABM. Write down in this point. ABM utilizes the cost information gathered through ABC. ABM utilizes the cost information gathered through ABC and then It manages the activities in an efficient and effective way. It manages the activity in an efficient and effective way so that the value received by the customer, continuously improves, In very simple terminology, we can say that ABM is equal to information of ABC plus its cost management. How to effectively manage the cost, the driver of activities is known as ABM, activity-based management. Okay, beta. So let's read out from page number 17. Please open page number 17 of study material. Page number 17 of study material. Let's start with that. The term activity-based management is used to describe the cost management application of activity-based costing. In very small sentence, we can define the activity-based management here as cost management application of ABC. The use of ABC as a costing tool to manage cost at activity level is known as ABM. ABM is a discipline that focuses on the efficient and effective. What's the difference between these two words? Efficient and effective. What's the difference between these two words? Efficient is related with speed of work. Effectiveness means quality of work. So to be efficient, matlab to be on time, speed matter karti hai yahan pe. What's your speed? To be effective means you are manufacturing the output the very first time in good condition. That is something we call effectiveness. So efficient is related with speed, while effectiveness is related with quality. So ABM is a discipline that focuses on the efficient and the effective management of activities as the route to continuously improve the value received by customer. So in this process, it's very important to introduce those two terminologies which were already covered in the initial session, value-added and non-value-added activities. So whenever information is gathered through ABC system, it will be analyzed under ABM, and in that we will analyze whether the services provided by the activities are value-added or non-value-added. Non-value-added activities are continuously to be eliminated, to be minimized, so that the profitability of the organization can be increased, along with value-added activity can be enhanced so that the value received by the customer is much more before introduction of ABM. Okay. ABM manages activities rather than resources. Let's study the definition given by Consortium for Advanced Management International. The abbreviated name is CAM. What is ABM? A discipline that focuses on the management of activities. What are the activities? That information is being given by ABC. Now, how to manage those activities is the work of ABM. As the route to improve the value received by the customer and the profit achieved by providing this value. Whenever we start managing the activity, we will be able to find out what activities are value-added, what activities portion are non-value-added. So non-value-added activities has to be eliminated in a phased manner so that our profitability can be increased, and those activities which are identified as value-added, how those value-added activity can be further enhanced so that the value received by the customer improves. Okay. This discipline includes cost driver analysis, activity analysis, and performance measurement. And from where the information is gathered, activity-based management draws on activity-based costing as its major source of information. So tell me, beta, whether first of all an organization will implement ABC or ABM. Whether this option is correct. First of all, ABC will be implemented and then ABM will be implemented, or second, ABM will be implemented first and then ABC will be implemented. Please communicate with the answer. Option number 1 or option number 2. Please communicate with your answer, beta. Option number 1 or option number 2. Okay, first of all, beta, we will implement the activity-based costing, because unless and until the activity-based costing is implemented, we cannot provide the information required for ABM. So firstly, activity-based costing will be implemented, and those information will now be forwarded to the process of ABM, activity-based cost management. Okay, so this particular line has been given in the last line of the definition given by Consortium for Advanced Management International, that ABM draws on activity-based costing as its major source of information. So once ABC is implemented, and then once it is implemented, it will provide the information of activities driver to the ABM technique, so that the ABM manages the activities in an efficient and effective manner. Clear है बेटा? चलिए देखिए फिर से वही चीज यहां पे दिया है. ABC supplies the information and ABF uses this information in various analysis designed to yield continuous improvement. Please write down this line, beta. This is very important. Write down the second point. ABC supplies the information ABC supplies the information while ABM uses this information in various analysis designed to yield continuous improvement. Designed to yield continuous improvement. क्लियर बेटा? चलिए अब आइए आप, हमने बोला एबीएम जो है वो मैनेज करता है एक्टिविटीज को, so that they can identify the value added and non-value added activities. Okay, so I'm in page number 19, beta. Please open page number 19. Page number 19. Read out this. This is very, very important, beta. Now, this is very, very important. Take this as most important. ABM views the business as a set of linked activities that ultimately add value to the customer. Managers who want to enhance customer value and manage cost must manage the underlying activities. ABM is based on the premises that activities consume cost. Okay, so ABM classifies each activity within a process as value-added activity or non-value-added activity. It's the management of activities in an efficient and effective manner. It's the management of activities in an efficient and effective manner. So ABM will classify the activities into value-added and non-value-added activity. Can you give me 7 type of waste beta का क्या mnemonic था? 7 type of waste का जो which we have considered, I think in chapter number 2 or chapter number 3. What are the 7 type of waste? We have given a particular name to it. All the costs incurred in those areas will be termed as non-value-added cost. The other name of non-value-added cost is waste. So what is that? Can you able to recall that mnemonic? What is that mnemonic beta? 7 type of waste है ना, तो उसका mnemonic क्या था? थोड़ा सा recall कीजिए बेटा. Definitely you will be able to recall बेटा. Okay, the mnemonic is Tim Wood. T-I-M, Tim Wood. So it is Tim Wood. So there are 7 type of waste that are associated in non-value added activities. Okay. Now, again, I am giving you a chance to recall what the T stand for, I stand for, M stand for, W, O, O, and D. 1 minute time I will provide to you, but try to recall maximum of that. I'm not saying that you should recall all those 7 type of it. Try to recall what the T stand for, I stand for. Try to recall maximum of that. 1 minute time is available to you now. Okay, beta. So T stand for transportation. I stand for inventory. There is no concept that you should not keep the inventory. Having more inventory than what is minimally required is known as waste. You should maintain a minimum level of inventory, no doubt about that. M stand for motion, W stand for waiting, O stand for overproduction. Without any customer demand, if you are making production on a continuous basis, that is known as overproduction. O stand for over processing and D stand for defect, non-bite first time. So these are the 7 type of waste which we have studied in chapter number 3, lean system and innovation. में हमने ये पढ़ा था बेटा ना. The same thing will apply here also ना. Whenever the concept of waste is there or value or non-valued activity is there, you should be able to recall this mnemonic Tim Wood. Along with it contain transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, and the last one is defect. Okay, the value added. What is value added and what is non-value added? If a certain cost is incurred by the organization, and if such incurrence of cost benefit the customer, then it's a value added cost. But if the cost, although incurred by the organization, but it doesn't benefit the customer at all, whether you will incur those costs or doesn't incur those costs, customer value will not be altered, then such cost will be regarded as non-value-added cost. Other name is waste. The value-added activities are those activities which are indispensable in order to complete the process. The customer are usually willing to pay for this services. This is very important. The customer are usually willing to pay for this service. Suppose you are purchasing a software from Microsoft. Okay. So in the Microsoft building, polishing of furniture work is being done for interior. Whether that polishing of furniture in the Microsoft office is a value-added activity to you? No way. Since you are purchasing software from the company Microsoft, whether the interior of Microsoft is polished furniture or unpolished one, it doesn't matter to you. But if the same polishing is being done by the furniture maker from where you purchase your furniture, then definitely such polishing of furniture will be a value added activity for the customer. So it depends beta. If you are purchasing a furniture, then definitely polishing of furniture is a value added product. Okay. Non-value added activities. The non-value added activities represent the work that is not valued by the external or internal customer when the output of one department is input to the other department. So when the cost incurred by the organization doesn't valued by the customer, then it is known as non-value-added cost. Non-value-added activities do not improve the quality or function of a product or service, but they can adversely affect the cost and price. Definitely, if certain costs are being incurred by us, and if no benefit is being received by the ultimate beneficiary, that is the customer, definitely such cost will affect the bottom line, that is the profit. अब यहाँ पे बेटा हमें कुछ टर्मोलॉजीज दिया है, इन टर्मोलॉजीज को हमें बहुत बहुत अच्छे समझना है. देखिए यहाँ पे बहुत सारी टर्मोलॉजीज आपको यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. रिसिप्ट टाइम, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइकिल टाइम. So there are different terminologies given in this point. So please write down. Terminologies in value-added and non-value-added activities. Give the heading. Terminologies in value-added and non-value-added activities. Write down the first point. Storage. Storage. Please write down beta in this point. Storage में लिखिए आप. An activity which utilizes time and money when the goods are held in inventory. An activity that utilizes time and money when the goods are held in inventory. Second definition लिखिए, moving. Oblique transportation. Moving oblique transportation. इसमें लिखिए बेटा, an activity that utilizes time and money. An activity that utilizes time and money comma so that the raw material WIP or finished goods are being moved from one department to another. Are being moved from one department to another. Third definition लिखिए बेटा, waiting. Waiting. An activity which utilizes time and money for waiting for the next process, for waiting for the next process, for waiting for the next process. Write down the fourth definition, beta, inspecting. All these points are very, very important for examination purpose. That's why, beta, we are writing the same on our copy. Inspecting, an activity which consumes time and money to ensure that product meets the quality standards. To ensure that product meets the quality standards. Next point, scheduling. Scheduling, an activity that consumes time and money to determine when the production will take place, in which department, along with its quantity. तो देखिए बेटा, इंस्पेक्शन की हमें कोई जरूरत नहीं है if we are in the process of doing the thing right the very first time, every time, then there is no need for inspection. Scheduling की हमें जरूरत नहीं है. If we have applied the just-in-time system, then definitely whenever the demand pulled, such quantity will be produced. There is no need for any scheduling. Storing की हमें जरूरत नहीं है. If we have implemented the just-in-time purchasing, then definitely the supply from the supplier will be directly sent to the production floor without routing through the store. फिर यहाँ पे waiting वाला काम नहीं आएगा. If the Kanban card system has been introduced, कुछ याद आ रहा है बेटा? So all these 5 definitions which I have written are totally non-valuated activity. Please write down next line बेटा, एक line drop करके लिखिए through that pen. All of the above 5 activities are termed as non-value added activities. Now, beta, this diagram is most important. Hats off to the faculties of Board of Studies, whoever have designed study material. The toughest, the most confusing concept has been provided to the students in the most lucid manner through this diagram. Hats off to them, beta, who have prepared this diagram. Through this diagram, we can easily understand what are the different terminologies that are being used in a formula to calculate the ratios. Very important diagram. Okay. So this diagram starts from customer places the order for the product and ends with delivery of customer, final delivery to the customer. So the time starts when customer places the order and it will continue till the order is delivered to the customer. But this time will be bifurcated into numerous times denoted by each and every specific meaning. The first step is we received the order from the customer. that order detail will be communicated to the manufacturing department. The manufacturing department begins the manufacturing. Manufacturing department completes the manufacturing process, and then it will be finally delivered to the customer. If you understand the process beta. First of all, order has been received by us. Then such order detail will be communicated to the manufacturing department. Once communication is done, after some time, the manufacturing of that product will take place. Manufacturing of that product completed is the fourth step. And the last one will be the product is finally delivered to the customer. So the time difference between receipt of customer order and its final delivery to the consumer is known as customer response time. Is known as customer response time. Okay, the time between receipt of customer order and its final delivery to the customer is known as customer response time. मतलब complete time, है ना? Now we will bifurcate this customer response time into different time. The time between receipt of customer order and its communication to the manufacturing department is known as receipt time. Okay. When the order communication detail has been sent to the manufacturing department and when the actual manufacturing starts, the time difference is known as waiting time. Once the manufacturing is started and till the manufacturing is completed, that is known as manufacturing time, also known as processing time, The time between receipt of information by the manufacturing department and the completion of that product is known as manufacturing cycle time. And once the goods are manufactured by the department, production department, until the delivery to the consumer is known as delivery time. So बहुत अच्छे से clarity चाहिए बेटा. I will make you write down each and every point, but before that, I will give you time to read out this concept on your own, available in page number 21 and 22. Available in page number 21 and 22, the most important topic of today's session. So please pay some extra attention towards this topic because already 2 times question has been asked from this particular topic regarding the storage, regarding the inspection, receipt time, waiting time, customer response time. 2 questions have already been asked by the institute related to this particular topic. So we will discuss in detail. Definitely, we will write down some important points also. But before that, I will give you time of 5 to 7 minutes. Yes, such time are required by you so that you can minutely read out the content available in page number 21 and 22. Please, beta, utilize this time very effectively to understand the meaning of each and every time. Okay, receipt time, waiting time, manufacturing cycle time. What's the meaning? When it will start and when it will end. So sufficient time of 5 to 7 minutes are being provided to you to read out the content given in page number 21 and 22. Okay, and then we will discuss once more in detail and write down the key points in our language. Please, beta, try to read out in very, very minute detail. Okay. Each and every line should be interpreted by you related to page number 21 and 22. Okay, beta, let's start. So please write down in your copy receipt time, or we can call it a receipt time. Receipt or receipt. It's the difference of pronunciation. Receipt time. Please write down in your copy, beta. The time difference, receipt time, the time difference between receipt of customer order and its communication to the production department. Okay. Write down the next time, beta. Waiting time. Waiting time. Once the order information received by the manufacturing department, once the order information is received by the manufacturing department, comma, till the time the manufacturing actually starts. Till the time the manufacturing actually starts. Write down next line, beta. Manufacturing time. Write down in bracket, also known as processing time. Bracket close. Please write down in this point, the time during which raw material is being converted into finished goods. The time during which raw material is being converted into finished goods. Next point, beta. Next line, manufacturing cycle time. Manufacturing cycle time. First point लिखे manufacturing cycle time में, it is also known as manufacturing lead time, LEAD, manufacturing lead time. It is also known as manufacturing lead time. First point लिखा आपने manufacturing cycle time. Second point लिखे second point, it starts when order information is received by manufacturing department. It starts when order information is received by manufacturing department and continues till the product is manufactured. And continue till the product is manufactured. Third point. Manufacturing cycle time includes नेक्स्ट लाइन में इस प्रकार से लिखिएगा बेटा, वैल्यू एडेड टाइम, वैल्यू एडेड टाइम में सबसे बेस्ट है प्रोसेसिंग टाइम. एग्जांपल प्रोसेसिंग टाइम एंड नॉन वैल्यू एडेड टाइम. तो मूविंग टाइम आ जाएगा यहां पे, स्टोरेज टाइम आ जाएगा, waiting time will be covered here, inspection time will be covered here, scheduling time will be covered here. So manufacturing cycle time includes value added time as well as non-value added time. Non-value added time के कई सारे एग्जांपल है. The cost which we are incurring but customer is not benefited by incurrence of such cost. Example are moving time, storage time, waiting time, inspection time, scheduling time. Now very important point beta. When this manufacturing cycle time is expressed in percentage terms, the same concept is known as manufacturing cycle efficiency. You read out from the study made beta. This is available in page number 22, I think. Manufacturing cycle time. Please write down the next definition. मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइकिल टाइम. It's the ratio of value added time. It's the ratio of value added time to the total time taken to manufacture a product. Underline the word manufacture. To manufacture a product. It is the ratio of value added time to the total time taken to manufacture a product. Manufacture के बदले deliver नहीं है. If the word deliver is there, then the receipt time and the delivery time will also be covered in the manufacturing cycle efficiency. But the word used is manufacture, to manufacture the product. Means once manufacturing cycle efficiency will not be computed for this particular time frame. इसके लिए हम compute नहीं करेंगे. Manufacturing cycle time will be computed for this period. इस period में value added time कितना है और to the total time taken, this will be computed by the manufacturing cycle efficiency. Please write down beta the formula. Please write down the formula. Manufacturing cycle efficiency is equal to value added time divided by total manufacturing time. This word is very, very important, not total delivery time, total manufacturing time. In simple words, manufacturing cycle efficiency is equal to value added time, means the processing time in which raw material is being converted into finished goods, divided by non-value added time plus processing time. Non-value added time में कई सारी चीजें आ सकती है बेटा. Waiting time, moving time, storage time, scheduling time, inspection time. All this will be covered in non-value added time. Okay. Now interpretation. जो भी आंसर आएगा उसका क्या इंटरप्रिटेशन है लिखिए बेटा. पहला फर्स्ट पॉइंट इंटरप्रिटेशन में, सपोज द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइकिल एफिशिएंसी इज 0.4. Suppose the manufacturing cycle efficiency is 0.4, comma, what does this means? What does this indicates? Suppose the manufacturing cycle efficiency is 0.4, comma, what does this indicates? Question mark. Next line में लिखे, it means out of the total manufacturing time, comma, 40% of the time are value added. 40% of the time are value added. And rest of the time, that is 60%, and rest of the time, that is 60%, are non-value added. Rest of the time, 60% are non-value added. Clear है बेटा? चलिए अब आइए कुछ और डेफिनेशन लिख लेते हैं अपन, फिर वी विल मूव टुवर्ड्स द कैलकुलेशन पार्ट. देखिए बेटा एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल दिया है रिलेटेड टू मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइकिल टाइम. हैव अ रीड आउट दैट क्वेश्चन गिवन इन पेज नंबर 22. बहुत ही अच्छा है बेटा. कंसिडर a 50-minute doctor visit time, है ना. पेशेंट को 50 मिनट्स लगे क्लिनिक में, इसका बाइफर्केशन दे रहा है. Patient spend 10 of those minutes on admin tasks such as filling out the form, 25 minutes waiting in the reception area and examination room, and 15 minutes with a nurse or doctor. So 50 minutes को उन्होंने bifurcate कर दिया, 10 minutes उसको admin work में लगा, 25 minutes उसको wait करना पड़ा, and the 15 minutes for the नर्सिंग और दी डॉक्टर स्टाफ, है ना. अब हमें यहाँ पे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइकिल एफिशिएंसी निकालना है. सो आउट ऑफ द टोटल 50 मिनट्स ओनली द इफेक्टिव मिनट्स आर 15 इन विच पेशेंट प्रॉब्लम इज रिजॉल्व्ड. सो 15 मिनट्स आर द वैल्यू एडेड टाइम आउट ऑफ द 50 मिनट. तो 15 डिवाइडेड बाय 50 इट इज 30.3. सो इट मींस आउट ऑफ द टोटल टाइम ऑफ अ पेशेंट only 30% are value added time and the rest 70% are non-value added time. ये दिया बेटा, only 30% of the 50 minute add value to the patient customer. Minimizing this non-value added time has not only increased the customer satisfaction, but they will also allow more patient to be considered by the doctor. तो more patient को वो less time में अब और भी ज्यादा पेशेंट दे सकता है. तो दोनों के लिए विन-विन सिचुएशन है. इफ यू फोकस ऑन रिड्यूसिंग द नॉन वैल्यूएटेड टाइम, नॉट ओनली द पेशेंट विल बी बेनिफिटेड बिकॉज दे रिक्वायर लेस टाइम विद इन द क्लिनिक, ऑल्सो यू कैन प्रोवाइड कंसल्टेंसी टू मोर पेशेंट सिंस less time are needed for each and every patient. So very good example of manufacturing cycle efficiency. Okay beta, next write down cycle time. Cycle time. इसमें लिखिए ऑल्सो नोन एज कस्टमर रिस्पॉन्स टाइम. Time between customer places the order, time between customer places an order and its delivery to the customer, and its delivery to a customer. Write down the last definition beta, delivery time. Delivery time. Delivery time. Once the order is completed by the manufacturing department, once the order is completed by the manufacturing department, comma, time taken to deliver that product, time taken to deliver that product to the ultimate consumer, time taken to deliver that product to the consumer, ultimate पर लिखिए, to the consumer is known as delivery time. एक बार वो हमारा ऑर्डर कंप्लीट हो गया तो उसके बाद जो है वो हमारे लिए डिलीवरी टाइम कहलाएगा. Now beta, a very simple question is given in the form of illustration number 4. We will read it out combinedly, but you will be provided the chance to complete it on your own. Okay beta, so don't look at the solution part. It's recommended that you should close your study material for a few minutes and read out the question from the screen itself beta, so that you will be able to solve this question on your own on a rough page. Okay, please slow down the study material for a few minutes beta. Illustration number 4. Queenstown Furniture manufacture high quality wooden door within the forest of Queenstown since 1952. So the client name is Queenstown Furniture. The client is in the city Queenstown, and he is manufacturing high quality wooden door. Management is having emphasis on creativity engineering, innovation and experience to provide the customer with the door they desire, whether it's a standard design or one of a kind design door, customization, जैसा customer को चाहिए. The following information pertains to operation during a particular month. April. Processing time, inspection time, waiting time, movement time, and units per batch is given. Star जो दिया है, it has average time per batch, but it has no significance since all the things are to be find out in per batch only, है ना? तो इसका कोई significance नहीं है. So हमें निकालना है average non-valuated time. Again, the word average is not important because the time expressed is already the average one. So हमें निकालना है इन 4 टाइम में से 1, 2, 3 and 4 में से नॉन वैल्यूएटेड टाइम पर बैच कितना है, वैल्यू एडेड टाइम पर बैच कितना है. What is the manufacturing cycle efficiency? It's the processing time divided by non-valuated time plus processing time. Manufacturing cycle time. Manufacturing cycle time starts from once the order is received from the customer till the order is completed, है ना? तो समय बेटा आपके पास, आप बिल्कुल भी अभी अपना स्टडी मटेरियल नहीं देखेंगे, आप स्क्रीन से ही क्वेश्चन देखिए और रफ पेज में मुझे चारों पॉइंट का आंसर बिल्कुल एक्यूरेटली निकाल के बताइए. You are having 3 to 4 minutes to solve this question, and I'm quite confident that each and every student will be able to solve this question because we have already discussed the basic of this particular question number 4 in the last 30 minutes. Okay, beta. So best of luck. Give your 100%, and definitely your answer to each and every requirement part will be up to the mark. Okay, 3 to 4 minutes are available to you. Once you are done with the question, beta, please provide me the answer so that I can check whether this concept has been thoroughly understood by you or not. Okay, Jay Srivastav, Priya, Naveen, Brajesh Kumar have answered me. Okay, now let's check it out, beta. Average non-value added time per batch. Average non-value added time per batch. So you have to always remember Tim Wood. Transportation, inventory, motion, waiting, overproduction, overprocessing, and defect. All this will be covered under the non-value added time. For non-valuated time, in this particular question, if inspection time of 1.5 hour, waiting time of 6 hour, and movement time of 7.5 hours. So 1.5 plus 6 plus 7.5, it is 15 hours is non-valuated time. While the only time the customer appreciate is the processing time. That is the time during which the wood is converted into wooden door. Okay. So the processing time is the only value added time. And what's the formula of manufacturing cycle efficiency? It's the formula of value added time, that is the processing time, 9 hours divided by total time taken to manufacture a product. It consists of non-value added time as well as the value added time. So non-value added time is 15 hours plus 9 hours. So what is the answer, beta? 9 divided by 24. So it's 37.5. What does this indicate? 37.5. Out of the total time taken to manufacture a wooden door, just 37.5% are the value added time. Rest of the time are non-value added time. In other words, whatever you are incurring in the organization, only 37.5% are being valued by the customer. In other words, are being reimbursed by the customer. Rest 62.5% are although incurred by the organization, but they will not be able to recover it from the customer, being a non-value added cost. And this is very important. Manufacturing cycle efficiency. It starts from right from the receipt of order information to the manufacturing department till the order is completed. So all their total of value added and non-value added time is manufacturing time, 24 hours. But one thing is very, very, very important. 24 hours is computed on per batch basis, while manufacturing cycle time is always to be computed on per unit basis. Please write it down because this is very, very, very important. Manufacturing cycle time is always to be computed on manufacturing cycle time is always to be computed on per unit basis. Now, there is one more question, beta, related to this concept. Let's solve it. It's available in page number 35. Page number 35. Okay, let's read it out the question together, and then again 3 to 4 minutes are being provided to you to solve this particular question on a rough page on your own, beta. Na? Question number 1. W specializes in engineering design and manufacture in the automotive and motorsport industry. W's design team has many year experience in the design and development of engine components for the market and high performance engines. So the client name is W. They are specializes in designing and manufacturing the engines. Though W is performing well, but many a time the customer complained that they had to wait for long after placing the order. W is interested in cutting the amount of time when a customer places an order and when the order is completed. Can you tell me the technical name of this time, beta? W is interested in cutting the amount of time between when a customer places an order and when the order is completed. What this would be called technically? I'm waiting for your answer, beta. Please communicate. Yeah, Jay Srivastava, more or less cycle time and customer response time are same, beta. Basically, customer response time are to be used especially for manufacturing sector. So in a common parlance, they can be considered similar. Please tell me the answer, beta. What this time can be technically called? Okay, very good. Customer response time, that is the cycle time. Very good, Surya. It is known as customer response. It is not the manufacturing time. It is the customer response time, also sometimes called as cycle time. For the last year, the following data were reported in respect of Department D. Inspection time, 0.5 days per batch. Process time, 2.8 days per batch. Wait time, 16 days per batch. Queue time, 4 days per batch. And movement time, 0.7 days per batch. Now, there is a confusion in this two terminology, wait time and queue time. Wait time and queue time. Okay. So you have to take an assumption regarding the wait time, whether this wait time is related with manufacturing or wait time is related with receipt of customer order till the time it is communicated to the production department. Okay. Calculate manufacturing cycle efficiency and interpret the result. State what percentage of the production time is spent in non-valuated activity. Calculate the delivery cycle time. Calculate the new manufacturing size by using lean production. All queue time can be eliminated. है ना? तो आप एक बार कोशिश कीजिए बेटा. You can take the assumption, multiple assumption that wait time is related with manufacturing or wait time is related with production. Since there is a separate term is given, queue time. Queue time means waiting time. Okay. So you can have an assumption. What assumption we can take? We can take that waiting time is inclusive in manufacturing. Okay. We will take the assumption waiting time is related with manufacturing. When you see the suggested answer, both the assumptions are given in the question. That if waiting time is considered in manufacturing time, what will be the answer? And if waiting time is considered to be non-manufacturing, what will be the answer? Okay, beta. We will consider that waiting time is related with manufacturing. Okay. Try to solve this question on your own, beta. You are having sufficient time of 3 to 4 minutes. Please solve each and every requirement part, beta, na? And consider the waiting time to be part of manufacturing time. We will note down the assumption. Also in the suggested answer, both the assumption are valid. Please provide me the answer of first and second requirement part if you are done with that, beta. Okay, Brajesh Kumar, beta, I got your answer. Thank you. Okay, beta, let's start the solution. See the suggested answer given in page number 44. No? One thing is to be kept in mind that receipt time, if the word receipt time is given in the question, that will never form part of manufacturing cycle time or to be considered in the calculation of manufacturing cycle efficiency. But since the wait time is given, we can have two assumptions. This is assumption number one. This is assumption number two. Wait time can be considered as the part of the production process, that is the manufacturing process. Otherwise, in some author uses the word wait time for time between receipt of customer order and its communication to the manufacturing department. That is, wait time is related with before the production start. Whatever assumption you are taking, you will get full mark, but you have to write such assumption that we are considering the wait time to be part of production process, or we are considering the wait time to be before the production process. If it's before the production process, then it will not be covered in manufacturing cycle time. It will not be covered in the manufacturing cycle efficiency. Okay, beta. So institute will provide marks to both the students, both the assumption. The only condition is they must write their assumption. But if receipt time is given, there is no assumption required. The receipt time will definitely be related before the production starts. Okay, beta. तो देखिए पूरा कैलकुलेशन हमें यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. So the first requirement part is to compute the manufacturing cycle efficiency. We have considered the wait time to be part of manufacturing process. So the answer is 11.67. What is the interpretation of 11.67? 11.67 is the value added time. In other words, 88.33% is the time that is being spent on non-value added activities. Okay. Same चीज बेटा मैं requirement part number 2 में पूछा था कि what is the time spent on non-valuated time? It's very simple. 100 minus manufacturing cycle efficiency, we will get the non-valuated time in percentage. Delivery cycle time. It start right from receipt of customer order and continue till the delivery to its final customer. For 24 days is the delivery cycle time. And if we remove the queue time, then the revised manufacturing cycle time will be 14%. So the only confusion in this question is whether to consider wait time, not the receipt time. whether to consider wait time to be part of production profit. If yes, then it will be included in manufacturing cycle time and manufacturing cycle efficiency. But if you consider wait time to be part before the production start, then definitely it will be excluded. I strongly suggest, beta, go with only one method, that yes, waiting time is to be considered in production method. If you keep two alternate now, definitely it will create confusion in the examination. Okay. So this is very, very important topic discussion on value added and non-value-added activities in activity-based cost management. Now we are left with only a very, very simple topic, very simple topic. If organization have implemented ABC, then after implementation of ABC, definitely every year budget will be prepared. So how budget will be prepared in a ABC environment is known as activity-based budgeting. I am repeating, beta. Organization has already implemented the activity-based costing. Now, for every year, a budget is to be prepared. So how budget will be prepared when an organization has already adopted activity-based costing? This we have to understood through a very, very simple example. Nothing special about that question, beta. Na? The only difference will be, I have already told you that whether we are using the traditional method or the ABC method, चाहे आप traditional method use कर रहे हो, चाहे आप ABC method use कर रहे हो, prime cost will remain same, because both this method differs in recovery of overhead. They do not differ in the prime cost of the product. जो overhead है ट्रेडिशनल मेथड में ये आता था वेरिएबल ओवरहेड के नाम से, फिक्स्ड ओवरहेड के नाम से. While under ABC, it will cover in the name of activity 1, activity 2, activity 3. That's all. The only difference between the budget when prepared through traditional method, we will prepare like this, prime cost, we will prepare what is the variable overhead, what is the fixed overhead, different component of fixed overhead, depreciation, salary, etc. But in activity-based costing, we will not be having the data of variable and fixed overhead. Instead of that, we have bifurcated the overhead on the basis of activity. So overhead will consist of different activities that will be provided in the question. So let's start with the most simple question, beta. No need for any theory in this particular topic. It's very, very simple. Let's have a question given in page number 28, question number 5th. Page number 28, illustration number 5th. Let's start this question, beta. Illustration number 5th. 612 is an Indian, Japanese international chain of convenience store for food, snacks, hot and cold beverages, is formulating its activity-based budget for January 2021. So the client name is 612. They have already implemented activity-based costing and they are formulating activity-based budget for a month, January 21. Company has only 3 products: soft drink, fresh drink, and ready-to-eat food. The budgeted data relating to 3 products are as under. Okay. Activity is given and their driver is given. So we have been given 4 activities: ordering, delivery, shelf stocking, and customer support. Along with that, we have been given the driver. Ordering is dependent on number of purchase order. Delivery is dependent on number of deliveries. Shelf stocking is based on number of hours. And customer support is dependent on item 4. Clear, beta? 4 activities are given and related to those activities, their cost driver are given. Cost driver rate, it is nothing but ABC recovery rate, cost driver rate, ABC recovery rate. For 2020, the actual recovery rate is given while for January 2021, the budgeted rate is given. As you can see, the ordering driver rate per purchase order is 5,000 in the last year, while it is expected at 4,500 per purchase order for January 21. Delivery and shelf stocking cost has been increased, while customer support cost has been reduced. January 21 budget. Amount of driver used. Here we have been given that purchase order is the cost driver logical base for ordering activity. Here it has been given how much purchase order has been placed for each product. So 16 purchase order has been placed for soft drink, 20 purchase order has been placed for fresh drink, and 16 purchase order has been placed for ready to eat food, and similarly for the other three activities. So very simple numerical statement. 4 activities, their cost driver, ABC recovery rate given for last year 2020 and also given for January 21. Along with that, quantity of cost driver is being provided to us. Quantity of cost driver. Okay, beta. Company has a continuous improvement system to budgeting monthly activity cost for each month of 2021. This is important, beta. ध्यान से पढ़िएगा. February budgeted cost driver rate, not cost driver, cost driver rate. It means they are talking about ABC recovery rate. February का ABC recovery rate क्या होगा? If 0.996 time the budgeted January 21 rate. वापस पढ़िए बेटा इस लाइन को. Read it out this line once again. February का ABC रिकवरी रेट फाइंड आउट कैसे होगा? जनवरी का जो भी ABC रिकवरी रेट है that will be multiplied by 0.996 to find out the February cost driver rate, that is ABC recovery rate. Similarly, मार्च का ABC रिकवरी रेट कैसे फाइंड आउट होगा? मार्च ABC रिकवरी रेट इज 0.9 टाइम द बजटेड February 21 रेट. तो जो February का 21 का रेट है उस पे जब आप 0.996 मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे you will get the March ABC recovery rate. For very simple and so on. ऐसा ही चलता रहेगा. ठीक है साहब. Compute the total budgeted cost for each activity in January 21. January 21 के लिए आपको total budgeted cost बताना है. So very simple point बेटा. So in most of the question we have been provided the cost pool, but in this particular question we have been given the ABC recovery rate and the quantum is also given related to that. Okay बेटा. So let's solve it out. तो देखिए बहुत ही सिंपल है बेटा, बहुत सिंपल है. कैलकुलेटर में लीजिए आप 16, 20 and 16. So a total of 52 purchase orders are there. For every purchase order the budgeted rate is 4,500. So 52 multiplied by 4,500, it's 2,35,000 cost pull for January 21 for activity number 1. So देखिए बेटा इसी को अगर अपन लिख के करें तो it's very simple, nothing special about this question. So activity 1, which is ordering, we have to find out the total budgeted cost for each activity. That is, they are asking about the cost pull. So how many purchase order are there? 52 purchase order are there, and the budgeted rate is 5,500 per purchase order. It will provide you a total cost pull of 2,34,000. Similarly, for activity number 2, tell me the beta cost pull of activity number 2. I am waiting for your answer. Communicate me the answer of activity cost pull. It's very simple beta, very simple है ना. It's 13 plus 60 plus 20, total 93 deliveries, multiply by, for every delivery we will incur 4100 rupees. For 93 into 4100, it's 3,81,300. Similarly for shelf stocking and similarly for customer support. Now beta, discuss advantage might the company gain by using an activity-based budgeting approach over an approach that allocate cost of this activity on a percentage basis. So we have already done a question on this melody question, the very first question of today's session, beta. They're asking you to provide the advantage. Definitely, if you recover the overhead on a single basis, that is percentage of cost of goods sold, there can be arbitrarily allocation of overhead to the product. While using the activity-based budgeting approach will definitely provide you the logic that whatever activity, whatever resources are being consumed by the product is charged for that overhead only. The overhead recovery will be the logical one. So the same type of communication has to be done in requirement part number 2, as we already discussed in the very first question of today's session, Melody company वाला, है ना. अब आप मुझे बताइए, compute the total budgeted cost for each activity in March 21 if March 21 have the same budgeted amount of cost driver usage as in January 22. तो करना अभी भी वही है बेटा, क्वांटिटी ऑफ कॉस्ट ड्राइवर सेम रहेगा, सिर्फ एबीसी रिकवरी रेट मार्च 21 का बदल जाएगा, है ना. आपको पता है एबीसी रिकवरी रेट मार्च 21 का कैसे निकालना है, बेस्ड ऑन दिस पॉइंट बेटा ना. तो मैं आपको समय देता हूं, आप मुझे सिर्फ पहली एक्टिविटी का बजटेड कॉस्ट पुल निकाल के बताइए, ऑर्डरिंग एक्टिविटी का, ओनली ऑर्डरिंग एक्टिविटी का बजटेड कॉस्ट पुल फॉर मार्च 21, क्योंकि वो आपने सही कैलकुलेट कर लिया, इट मींस यू अंडरस्टूड द सिस्टम ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, है ना. आई एम वेटिंग फॉर यू बेटा. Quantity of cost driver will remain same, only and only the ABC recovery rate will change for March 21. And I am asking for only the first activity, ordering activity. Whenever you get it calculated, please communicate it to me. Okay, Priya beta. Okay, Priya. Okay, beta. The calculation part is very, very simple. We have been provided the January ABC recovery rate. So for ordering activity, what is the January ABC recovery rate for ordering activity? It's 4,500. When it get multiplied by 0.996, we will get the February ABC recovery rate. When it get multiplied again by 0.996, we will get the final answer of March ABC recovery rate. In examination, you can write directly beta 4500 into 0.996, again 0.996. You don't have to write in so much detail beta. No? This is just for your understanding. So 4500 into 0.996, it's 4482. Again multiplied by 0.996, it's 4464.072. You can ignore the 0.072. It will not make any difference beta. No? Now, the question is stated that the cost driver quantity will remain same for March 21 also as they are available in the January 21. For the first ordering activity, the number of purchase order are 52. So multiplied by 52 purchase order. So it will provide you a total of 2,32,131. So this is the cost pool, that is the total budgeted cost of first activity. Likewise, you can easily calculate the cost pool for second, third, and fourth activity. Okay, beta. So this question is very simple. Even I am a firm believer that even if a student has not read out this question from the study material and it appears in your examination, definitely each and every student will be able to solve this question. Okay, beta. So we have covered all the concept of this particular chapter, strategic analysis of operating income, along with the basic of ABC, interbasic. Now, tell me, beta, what's the status of standard costing? Because we are having the lecture of budgetary control. We are being 2 lectures on budgetary control. After that, we have to go to the last chapter of our syllabus, that is chapter number 11, standard costing. Okay. After that, 4 session has been allocated to case studies digest. So there are 10 sessions left, still left. Next 2 sessions are dedicated for budgetary control. Next 4 sessions after that budgetary control, the next 4 sessions are for standard costing, and the last 4 sessions are for case study digest. I want to know the level of standard costing, beta. Are you able to recall the concept of standard costing at this point of time? Please communicate with yes or no, beta. Because whatever we have to study at final level has the base of inter. Unless and until you are strong at the inter level basic of standard costing, you will not be able to cope up with the final level standard costing. Okay, beta. So it's very, very necessary to have a grip on the basic of inter level of standard costing. Please communicate, beta. Are you comfortable with the topic of standard costing at inter level? I'm asking because so that I can plan what we have to study in those 4 lectures. If you are comfortable, definitely we can go more in depth on those 4 lectures of standard costing. Otherwise, we have to provide 1 or 2 hours related to the basic of inter standard costing. Okay, beta. Feel free to communicate, beta, because it's your batch. Unless and until you are being benefited, it's the purpose of batch will be defeated, beta. Na? You are the ultimate beneficiary. That's why I'm asking. I am the firm believer of quality management guru Edward Deming. You must know what to do and then do your best. We already written that dialogue of Edward Deming in our copy. You must know what to do and then do your best. That's why I'm asking you that whether you are comfortable of the concept that you have studied at inter level related to standard costing. Please communicate with beta yes or no, so that I can plan those 4 sessions. If you are not comfortable, no issue. I will take the basic of inter in the first 2 hours, and then we will proceed towards the final standard costing. If you are comfortable, that will be a bonus for you. We can then proceed more in depth on that particular topic, standard costing. Okay. Please communicate, beta. Jay Srivastav, Sai Ram, Priya, please communicate. Okay, Sumit Jain, not comfortable. Sai Ram is not comfortable with that topic. Okay, beta, no issue. What about other student beta? Because the majority will decide whether the concept of interlevel will be covered or not. Okay. What about Priya, Suraya, Jay Srivastav, Brajesh Kumar, Naveen Kumar, Tejo, Priyadarshini? What your view beta on that basic of standard costing of interlevel? Are you able to recall still that concept? Please communicate fast beta, so that I can plan those lectures or 4 lectures on standard costing accordingly. Okay, Brajesh Kumar, Naveen Kumar. Okay, beta. So I got the view. Majority of the students are not comfortable with the basic of inter. So we will do one thing, beta. Na? Definitely. I will not start the final level of standard costing from the very first minute of those session. Definitely, we will devote 2 hours. It's a promise from my side. We will devote 2 hours so that the basic of intercosting will be clear. Once the basic of intercosting revision has been completed by me, then only I will proceed towards the final level standard costing. Okay, beta, done from my side. Now I'm mentally prepared that I have to make 2-hour session on the basic of inter standard costing. Okay, beta. So thank you for watching today's session, beta. God bless you all. We will meet for a new chapter, chapter number 10, budgetary control, in the next session. Thank you. Thanks a lot, beta.